Friends, thank you for watching my channel. I just want to remind you, if you need wallpaper, go to www.wallpaperboulevard.com. Tell them Spencer sent you. In fact, if you use my hashtag, Spencer Colgan is wallpaper, they'll be sure to give you 10% off at your checkout. No matter how much you order, they have a wide selection of wallpaper. Check it out. Tell them I said hello. If you're a professional painter, I urge you to purchase one of these tools. You'll step up your game, okay? You may not be able to tell in the video. This is super smooth now, okay? Super smooth. You know, for $2,200, it's worth it. I mean, if you're still pole sanding, first of all, you're not going to get perfection. Your body gets tired. How much pole sanding can you do during the week? The Industrial Revolution came about. If you can't afford this, raise your prices and get it and step up your game. Prep is everything. We leave a little space because we will caulk the gap between the wall and the cabinet. So we start out painting the ceiling first, obviously, right? This is a 2.5-inch Worcester Pro. Okay, let me show you the brush up close. Angle sash, okay? We wet it first so that the paint doesn't stick to the bristles when we go to clean it later. Don't let your brush get all paint down there. It's just that it's upside down so it runs downward, but nothing like a sloppy painter, you know? And I always give it 2 passes. This way, you got a nice thick coat of paint on it. You finish in one direction, just like that. So now to paint the ceiling with our 9-inch roller, since we're going from a white to a blue, I'm going to paint it 2 coats, one this way and the other direction in the second coat. The first coat will be this direction. The second coat will be in this direction. My last stroke is in one direction, this way. Again, my last stroke is in this direction. Notice that I'm finishing on an obtuse angle. I can stop there and treat this part separately. Each angle gives me a new opportunity to stop the roller. You don't want roller marks. And these angles help avoid roller marks. Okay, and I'm going to continue like that until we get to the second coat. My last stroke is in one direction, this way. Again, my last stroke is in this direction. Notice that I'm finishing on an obtuse angle. I can stop there and treat this part separately. Each angle gives me a new opportunity to stop the roller. You don't want roller marks. And these angles help avoid roller marks. Okay, and I'm going to continue like that until we get to the second coat. We always have to roll with a wet edge. So when I bring my roller to the surface as I go up against the color that has been applied already, it has to be wet. So this blue I'm going to roll up against has to be wet. Okay, do you see the blue I'm going up against right here? See that? It's wet. So the edge is wet. Now over there it's dry. It's not dry, but it's drying. But I can't go over there and roll a little bit because I missed a spot and think it's all going to blend in. Why is that? Because everything has to dry at the same time. If I go over there and put a little more paint, I'm adding color. Ever so slight, I'm adding color to the area. It's not going to look the same. There is no touching up. You can touch up below the knees and way up in the shadows. But eye level, generally anything 3 feet over the head and 3 feet below the head, repaint the wall, unless it's behind a dresser. Why is that? You're adding different paint, even though it's the same color, out of the same can. If it dried on a different day, or even at a different hour, it's going to look different. Slightly, but it will look different. And so, we keep our wet edge. You see the space now between the blue and the blue? I'm moving in, aren't I? I don't want to bring a lot of paint there, so I just bring a little bit. Now it's done. Boom. One more time. Boom. One more time. Boom. Done. See that? And then we're going to do the second coat. It's going to look beautiful. This is generally very easy to do. You see how I start away from the blue? Why? I got too much paint on the roller. I want to gradually come over to it. And I go back and forth, back and forth. Now I'm on it. Now I just overlap it. And now I pull in one direction. One. Overlap at 50%. One. Lift the brush off the ceiling. The roller, I mean. One. Lift the roller. Go again. Same pressure, same consistency in paint, and it'll all look the same. Looking pretty, right? Okay, I'll see you back when we do our Second coat. While the caulk is wet, my friends from the UK corrected me. It is not caulking. That is the participle of the verb to caulk. So, they were right. So, while the caulk is wet, and it's clear caulk, you paint right up against there, and the caulk will do its job to prevent the paint from going under the tape. You say, oh, Spencer, they have frog tape that expands. I know all about it. But you know what? I'm okay with this. Now, you're going to put it heavy over here, up against the tape. You know why? You're not letting this dry and then hitting it with another coat. You're going to put 2 coats on right now, and then you're going to pull that tape. So let's do it. Nice thick coat of paint in there, folks. Finish it off in one direction. Nice. Come on. Oh, shut up, bird. Ruining the video. Okay, let's pull that tape. It goes on white, but it's clear. You don't want to use white because then the edge of your green will have a permanent white edge. You want the white to be the window. So although it looks white, it's just clear caulk that goes on white and dries clear. Okay? How does that look? That's how I do it. And that's how I suggest you do it. The blinds will be going back right into place using the same screw holes that we used before. Then I come around and I start cutting the perimeter. They call it cutting in the painting trade. And all it is, it's a way of describing just drawing a paint line around the perimeter, at the bottom and at the top, and around all the obstacles, including windows. Is it legal to shoot birds in your country? In the USA, you can shoot birds, however, not at the risk of hitting people. So if you're a bird shooter, which I'm not an advocate of shooting loud birds down by any stretch. However, Just kidding. So I'm dipping into a cut bucket that fits perhaps precariously into our ladder. Now, if you don't have the right brush for this, you're going to have problems. All right? Secondly, if your ceiling paint isn't dry, don't even attempt this. I think anybody watching this can figure this out just from what I'm doing. Look where I'm leaving the paint. And now I come in with a damp brush up against that corner. It's not soaking wet. Nice and easy. Nice and easy. Don't sneeze, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to be funny, but you gotta go easy. It's better to have to do it repeatedly than get it on the ceiling. Now I'm giving myself an 8-inch what do you call it? An 8-inch watt. You see what I'm doing? I can't think I'm concentrating. Go easy. Okay, 8 inches. It'll be important for later when we roll up against it. Look, do all you can with the brush. You see what I mean? Only a few of the bristles, if you look at the whole brush. Not all of the filaments are touching, right? Right or wrong? I go into directions. Why? Well, if you look close and if you missed, you'll get it on the second go round. Let's do that all around the room. I start rolling with an already wet roller. You don't want to start with a dry roller. You either want to spin this with your garden hose, spinning it meaning like a centrifuge, get it wet, and then spin out the wetness and just go up to the wall with a damp roller, or dip your dry roller in the paint and then purge the major contents of the roller somewhere and let it dry. Now we go to the wall with a wet roller. This way my entire application from the left to the right is universal. I'm not starting off with a dry roller. You'll see the difference. It's got to be wet. At the top, I'm already cut in. Full strokes, if you can, top to bottom. Just get it on the wall. And then we will perfect the stroke. Okay, I have 3 columns of paint here. And now I'm going to perfect them by going to the top and rolling straight down. Overlapping at 50%, go to the top, bring it straight down. Let me give you a better view. Let me give you a better view. Okay. Okay. Up and down, finish it going down. Start halfway over, overlap, go to the top, come straight down. Done. Go up to the top again, get as close as you can, come straight down. Reload. Don't go back and touch this. It's setting up. You don't want to mess with it. Now, none of this. None of that. Okay? That's weekend warrior. None of this. None of that. Okay? Gotta move you back. One uninterrupted stroke. Top, all the way down. No stopping. Don't choke the roller. Choking the roller is to make it so flat. Okay, now, you can go up and down, but then when you perfect it, it's all the way up, straight down, all the way up, overlap 50%, all the way down. Now on the second coat, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go back up to the top, right where my finger is. We're going to cut with a brush again. And so we're gonna put a nice extra coat up there. Then I'm going to put a roller stipple at the top because I want it to be consistent texture. So I'm gonna go sideways right up against the ceiling. And then, which will give me 9 inches, you see? But then I'm going to roll it straight up and down as you just saw me do it, so that the whole wall has an effect that was painted with a roller and not a brush. We can't roll the corner where corner of wall meets ceiling. And so we get as close as we can with the roller to give it the effect to the eye that it's all done with one applicator. Okay, let's do that. We cut all the top again. Now I'm going to roll it. And this is what I mean when I say the stipple. You want to bring the roller as close as you can to the ceiling so that the wall doesn't reveal that the top was painted with a brush. And that's the whole idea. Now while this is wet, we get off the ladder and we roll it vertically, and we're done with the wall. Now at the top, I'm bringing roller finish, what you just saw, to roller finish up and down. I'll show you the edges when we pull off the tape and show you the finished product.